Fletcher Landry's life was about to change. Forever. Irrevocably. He was never going to be the same. This was going to be the worst day of his life. And his grandmother was throwing a party for the occasion. Not only that, but she had threatened to cut him off from her gumbo for 2 weeks if he didn't show up. So now, he was sitting at a huge table at the back of her bar with the rest of his family, bracing for the moment when everything went to hell. At least there was lots of food. There was always lots of food when his grandmother was in charge. There wasn't much that her jambalaya couldn't make better. It was a small comfort. "Shut up, it's starting," his grandmother told the group. Ellie Landry, the matriarch of the family, pointed the remote at each of the televisions in the bar, turning the volume up to he couldn't ignore this if he tried level. Fletcher groaned. Not only was this whole event going to suck, but he was going to watch it on television with his whole family gathered round with the volume set to blaring. And he was going to have to listen to Jason Young sing as a warm-up. Jason Young was the hottest rising country music star in Nashville, but he wasn't from Nashville. He was from Bad, Louisiana, the town just up the bayou from Fletcher's hometown of Outre. Fletcher had known him since they'd played football against one another as peewees. Jason was good-looking, according to others, talented, also according to others, and charming to people who didn't know him very well. And did things like giving to charity and visiting sick kids in the hospital. Fletcher hated the guy. Because Jason had also been dating Fletcher's best friend, Jordan, since they'd been 15, which meant that Fletcher had hated Jason since they'd been about 15 and a half, and Fletcher had realized Jordan was going to keep dating him. At first, it had been fine. Fletcher had liked seeing Jordan happy, and it seemed that Jason treated her well. Of course, Fletcher threatening to end his life if he didn't might have had something to do with that. It hadn't hurt either that he'd been backed up by his cousins Mitch, Josh, and Owen, all of whom also had no trouble getting a little bloody for the right cause. They all would have considered Jordan the right cause. But then Jordan had actually fallen in love with Jason and told Fletcher all about it with a sweet smile on her lips and a dreamy look in her eyes. He'd started to hate Jason then. He hadn't stopped since.